Today we're making this super easy, no knead sausage, pepper, and onion bread. Look at this thing, loaded with peppers and onions and most important, sausage and provolone. You can see it right there. So easy to make, so delicious. Want to see how we do it? Just keep watching. Yum. First thing we're going to do is we're going to prep the peppers and onions. So in a saute pan, I have about 1.5 cups of julienne peppers along with a 3/4 cup of julienne onions. I'm using frozen peppers. The onions are fresh. You can use fresh, frozen, whatever you want. We're just going to saute this with a little bit of olive oil, salt and garlic to taste, and we're going to saute this until the vegetables are nice and tender. Just about 5 minutes. And 5 minutes later, they're done. Smell this house. It smells so good already. All right, so we're going to remove this from the heat and allow it to cool for at least an hour because you don't want to add your hot vegetables to the dough. All right, so we'll see this guy in an hour. So while I'm waiting for the peppers and onions to cool, I decided to prep some of the other ingredients that we're going to use for the sausage, pepper, and onion bread. So over here, I diced up about 1.5 cups of a good sharp Italian provolone. It's a nice hard dry. This has so much flavor and it'll add so much flavor to this. Which brings me to this. And over here I sliced up, usually I cut them in smaller pieces, but for this I really want to taste it. So I cut the sausage link in half and then just sliced them up. About a pound of cooked Italian sausage. Again, you can use whatever kind of sausage you want. Use chicken, turkey, vegetarian, whatever, but nothing like a good Italian sausage. Just make sure it's cool when you're handling it because you want to get burned. All right, so we have about 1 pound of this and 1.5 cups of the cheese. All right, so now we're going to prepare the yeast. So here we have 1.5 cups of lukewarm water. Should be between 110 and 120 degrees. Perfect. So 113.7. Perfect. All right, we dissolve 2 teaspoons of sugar in there, and then we're going to add 1 packet or 2¼ teaspoons of active dry yeast. You're going to give this a nice stir, and then you're going to allow this to sit off to the side for a good 5-10 minutes to allow the yeast to bloom. You'll see it'll have a nice foamy head when it's ready, and it'll smell like beer. Beer. While we're waiting for the yeast to bloom, in a large bowl, I added 3.5 cups of flour. You can use all-purpose, wheat, gluten-free. I'm using bread flour for this. I find the bread flour works best when you're trying to make bread. All right, but any kind of flour will do. All right, and to this I added 2 teaspoons of salt. We're going to give this a nice little mix. And once you feel confident that everything's mixed nice, you can add your cooled peppers and onions along with your sausage and your provolone cheese. And now you're going to mix this all together until everything is fully incorporated and coated with flour. Just like that. And once your yeast looks like this, got a nice 1-inch head on it, we're going to pour this right in. All right. Then we're going to add one more ingredient, which I forgot to grab. We are going to add just about 2 tablespoons of olive oil. Make sure it's a good one because you're going to taste it. Just like that. And now we're going to mix this all together until there is no loose flour and no loose liquid. So you just want to be careful. This is also why I said use a large bowl, which I don't think this was large enough. Oh well, you have to be extra careful. All right, so you're going to mix this all together. Nice. But are you getting the idea of what this bread's going to look like, though, with all these ingredients in here? Oh, it's going to be like a meal in itself. It's going to be so exciting. Now we're going to continue to mix this. Just like that. Then, once it's all mixed, you're going to cover this tightly with some plastic wrap. Put a nice seal on there. Don't let any of the air escape. And then into a warm spot, it's going to go for just 1 hour. You're going to allow this to rise for just 1 hour. And that's it. So we got this wrapped up. We got an hour to kill. So what shall we do? It's my favorite time and yours. It's cocktail time. Yay! Alrighty, so for today's apple gin fizz, we are going to start with 2 ounces of gin, 1.5 ounces of apple schnapps, 2. Yes, I have a heavy pour. 1 ounce of limoncello, 1 ounce of apple cider or apple juice, and then about 1/2 ounce of simple syrup. All right, so we're gonna give this a good shaky for about 30 seconds. Yeah, we're not doing the egg in this because that's just gross. I'm sorry for those that that like the egg in it, but no. And we pour. Let's see, it looks nice. Yes, it's not creamy because there's no egg in it, but I mean, if you want the egg, go for it. I don't see the appeal of a raw egg in a beverage. Keep it out of my booze. All right, and then we're gonna top it with a little lemon seltzer. All right, there we have it. Taste test time. Cheers. Oh, that's good. You really taste the gin. I'm not the biggest gin fan, but this is nice. Probably will put a little bit more apple in there, but it's refreshing, it's crisp. Love the use of the limoncello in there instead of just lemon juice. Just to kick it up a notch, and you know I love my drink. This is nice, it's refreshing. If you're a gin fan, you are gonna love this. And even if you're not, it just goes down smooth and easy. So if you try this drink, let us know. Cheers. So at about the 30-minute mark that your dough's been proofing, see it's been rising nice, you want to preheat your oven to 425 degrees. All right, so once your oven hits temperature, you're going to put your Dutch oven in there for a good 15 minutes. You know, you want to get that nice and hot before we add our dough. All right, so this is happening, so exciting. All right, so once your dough's been proofing for an hour, it's ready to make into a bowl. So on a lightly floured surface, we are going to roll this out. Use a spatula, because this dough is very sticky and it'll all stick to your hands. You've been warned. All right, so I'm gonna make sure we get all this dough out of here. All right, and then we are gonna dust this with a little bit of flour. And all you're gonna wanna do is just fold it in on itself a couple times until you get a nice dough ball. Okay, make sure you have a lot of flour handy. Use the same flour they used for the dough. Okay. All right, so I'm just gonna fill it like this, like that. One more time. All right, we're gonna give it a flip. See how it looks. Look at that. We got our beautiful bowl of dough, and it's huge. And it's ready for the oven. All right, so we pulled our Dutch oven out of the oven. Be careful, it's very, 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 very hot. All right, so we placed our bread bowl on some parchment paper, and then carefully, you're gonna add this into the extremely, extremely hot Dutch oven. Make sure you can see it. All right, so now we're gonna top with just a little bit of olive oil. Again, you wanna use the good stuff because you're gonna taste it. All right, but you can use any oil you want. Just give it a nice little coating. We're gonna make a nice little incision down the middle. Not so deep, just to give it a little mark. Like that, and then we are gonna top with some kosher salt. If I can find the kosher salt. All right, with some kosher salt right on top. You don't have to if you don't want to, but this just does add a little bit more flavor. Just a little bit. And then carefully, you're gonna put the lid back on, and then this is all gonna go into the oven for just 30 minutes. All right? 30 minutes is all it's gonna take into that preheated 425 degree oven. All right, so we'll see this in a half hour. All right, so it's been 30 minutes, time for the big reveal. Make sure you have your pot holders because this is gonna be hot. Let's see how it came out. Oh, wow. Look at the size of this thing. I knew it was going to be huge, but what? What? All right, so clearly it's not done yet, but it only needs a few more minutes. So back in the oven, it's going to go now, uncovered this time, for just about 5 to 10 minutes. Depending on the level of darkness you want it. If you want it really golden brown, you probably want to do like 10, 15 minutes, but it doesn't really need that much more time. So now into the oven it's going to go. But, oh, it smells unbelievable. You have no idea. Wow. 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 Yes. 12 minutes later, we pull this out of the oven. Look at this thing. This thing's bigger than my head. It's huge, but it's a gorgeous golden brown. Oh, and the house smells glorious. So we're gonna allow this to cool for a little bit before we give it a try. But wow, this is a dinner in itself. Seriously, so good and so easy. 2 hours. That's all it took. Nice. All right, so we've allowed this to cool for a little bit. So now it's time to cut it up. Let's see. Listen to that crunch. Let's see. Look at that. Look inside. Doesn't that look amazing? Oh my gosh, that's going to be so good. Taste test time. Yeah. Bon appetit. Oh my God. You cannot, I repeat, you cannot buy bread this good. Wow. This bread's unbelievable. It's a meal in itself. I could sit down and have this for dinner and I'd be most happy. You get the sausage, the peppers, the onions, the garlic, but then the bread. The bread is so good. Crunchy, moist on the inside because of all that provolone. So delicious. You want to make this bread. You need this bread in your life. Let me tell you. Wow. So if you try this recipe, let us know. Thanks for watching. Oh my gosh, this bread is everything. It's so good. Oh, hi Lolo. What's going on? You want some bread? Of course you want some bread. All right, let me cut you a slice. No, I can't give you the whole thing. No, you're not. You have to share with your brothers. They get some too. You don't get the whole thing. Patience. No, you get a slice. You get a slice. Oh, and most of it's for me. Yeah.
If you like this video, be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel at Poppy's Cucina. Thanks!